Welcome back, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Hawk Tuah 9 in the Japanese tech tree. Now watch as I get a triple kill with a singular missile, and then we can talk about whether or not this plane is worth it or not. Now if you know my channel and you watch it more often, you know that I've already made a couple of Hawk Tuah videos and just told you that they weren't all that fantastic. Maybe the 209 is a little bit different. Should you or should you? No. You should absolutely not pay money for this thing, and you already saw this coming. Most of you probably wouldn't even click on this video for that reason, because the Hawk just isn't all that fantastic. Now I did get some pretty funny, decent games. See this more as a challenge run, because the Hawk Tuah 9 is not really going to be pulling its weight basically anytime you play it. I got a little bit lucky and I got some funny 1v3s, but it's something that you shouldn't rely on, because it just doesn't have any flight performance. By the time you reach the middle of the map, the game has already been decided, and you can't really decide anything on your own. So it's not like if you play well that you can change the decision. Most of the time you are just going to get swatted straight out of the air. So why do I make this video anyway? Because I know that some people just look for the one plane that they are looking to buy, and that's why I make another video. I want these people to be warned that you shouldn't spend money on this plane. Now if you really so desire, you can of course use my discount code and get a whole ass 3% off, but I wouldn't even recommend this thing even if it was 75% off. It just isn't worth it. Now for ground realistic or ground sim or whatever, I'm not entirely sure. I did get a decent amount of grinding. You can tell that I'm flying with the Mavericks. I launched Tuah off and I get 2 free kills every time at the start basically, because I am so slow. I'm not contested. No one is here anymore. I'm floating into the battle, way past the merge. Everyone is on the deck, and I get to shoot 2 Mavericks for free, and that's basically the most reliable way to get RP in this thing. But that's really it. Enough of that mumbo jumbo. Let's take a look at the gameplay. So what do? I climb straight in. I try to get some height here so I can actually orbital strike. Now the contrails have been moved up, so it's actually a little bit more playable this way. It's nowhere near as bad. And the issue is that the AIM-9Bs, they're not fantastic. They don't have that much range. The AIM-9Ls are just much superior. And they get flared incredibly easily. So even when you drop on people that aren't really paying attention to you, it's possible that they shoot a missile, they flare randomly, and your missile is dead in the water. And after you've expanded your 2 missiles, guess what happens? You get a singular 25 mil or 30 mil. It's not very accurate, the velocity is dog shit, and it just doesn't have anything going for it. And on top of that, the flight model just isn't it. Now you can merge with people and kind of catch them off guard, because it does maintain speed decently well, but it's also mainly because you just don't have any turn time to begin with. So now we're looking at a plane that doesn't pull much AOA, with a low velocity gun, on an airframe that's already kind of slow, and also doesn't lose speed. And this losing speed section is a bit of a double-edged sword, because if I get onto a MiG-21, I dive on him, I try to shoot him, he dodges my rounds, he air brakes, or he just pulls on the stick very hard like I do on a random Saturday, there is nothing you can do. You are going to overshoot even if you 0% throttle, and you are going to get cooked. The second you overshoot, you are going to be going like 600 kilometers an hour, and there is nothing you can do. Now this right here is how most of my games go. I'm just gonna put this in here to not give you the illusion of the YouTuber magic. I can cherry pick all the games and make this thing look incredibly good. But I'm just gonna post my highlights. Obviously, these are the games that happen very often. You come in, I don't take a detour, I climb straight in, I use all the speed to my disposal, which is about 700 kilometers an hour in most cases. And by the time I engage the first guy, everyone around me is dead. I get a kill on the hunter because he didn't see my missile coming in, which is why I come from a high angle. I try to, well, surprise people Freddy Fazbear style with my AIM-9. And it works, I get my kill, and then the game is over. You get 20 seconds of quote-unquote combat. Yes, you get 2 Maverick kills as well. The RP isn't all that bad, but it's an absolute chore to play. Now, these games are incredibly funny. This is the first game I actually played in this thing. Now, I know how the Hawks kind of work. I've already played 2 of them on the channel before, so I know what my strengths are. We get 2 kills on light pillboxes, we do get a decent amount of RP. Then the AIM-9 actually hits the MiG-21, and that is normally what the entire game will give me. This game, however, is going to be a little bit different. We are actually in a pretty decent position. Now, you're never in a good position in this thing, because even if you are above dudes, you're probably still going to die. But I get to shoot at something that doesn't have many flares, so there's a chance that he either is out, and the angle mostly implies that he's probably not going to be seeing it. Now I see the MiG-21 below me, and I need to break off. I need to go for him, because if I go for the people in front of me, he gets on my 6 and I die. You never want to allow people to be on your 6 with a rate that they can actually catch you. And in this case we don't, because we are able to kind of boom and zoom supersonics, which is good. MiG-22 or Su-22 comes in, we go head on. We miss our shots, he misses his shots, make sure that I stay below him. I don't want to have to do anything with those NR30s. And he starts to turn for me. And you can tell that I can't really pull in, even though I'm much slower than him. I mean, I get the angle, but I'm still not really able to kill him properly. Now, if I had really good aim, I might have been able to shoot him down there. But let's be honest, that is a hard shot. You're going slow, he's going super fast, and he's outperforming you. He gets killed by the A10 in the head-on, so not all hope is lost. And we merge with the J35. Now he is directly above me and he doesn't really want to engage me as of right now. And I'm not sure if he's going for the A10 on me. So I'm going to use this little bit of downtime and the room that he gives me to store a bit of the energy in my balls into altitude. Because I just want to make sure that I have a fighting chance. And then I see him go for the A10. Now if he doesn't kill him in the very first pass, I should be able to come back and maybe third party him. Now the MiG-21 also shows up. I'm actually above them now, but I'm not going particularly quick. And this thing doesn't accelerate all that fast, and then the A10 gets killed. But I'm kind of lucky. The MiG-21 takes a very aggressive line after killing. The J35 goes back to the runway, it seems. And I actually have a bit of an energy advantage over the MiG-21 here, because he still has to turn to go for me, which is going to cost him even more speed. And if he isn't going all that fast, he's probably going to pull so much AOA, he's going to be a bit of an air brake. We shoot a missile in the head-on, we merge with him, it's a Lazure M, and I'm only going 700. Ah yes, that is. And the J35 comes back. But because the MiG-21 is so damn slow, I'm actually able to turn towards the J35, make a wide loop, try to sit behind him as the MiG-21 has to make another pass on me. Now the J35 isn't going particularly quick. He gets absolutely destroyed by the FOC, but it's mutually assured destruction, and it's now 1v1 against the Biz. Now, is this a scenario I want to be in? Definitely not, but I have the room here and the speed, as well as the mistakes of the enemy pilot, because he breaks off. He doesn't know what this plane flies like, and he tries to run back to the airfield. And in doing so, he allows me to just cut him off completely while he is burning so much energy. So we merge here, we miss the shot. And because he takes a little bit of time to roll over, he gives me the ability to pull in and saw his wing clean off. And that's going to be kill number 3. Now here we have a way of actually fighting people. We're going 1000, roughly 930 on the IS. And we go head on with a J35 that is carrying rockets and isn't going particularly quick. And if I go into a bit of a spiral and I open up the loop, I don't want to make it as tight as possible. I want to make sure that I have the separation here. We just pre-flare a little bit. Missile gets off the rail, nowhere near us, and you can tell that with something like a J35 that doesn't have the best acceleration and also just has poor energy retention, I'm able to use the speed and just dive back down on him. Now I'm not going to be going for that shot, I'm going a little bit too fast, and if I miss it I'm going to be in a world of hurt, so you can tell that I'm just trying to maintain distance. He wants to pitch up, he wants to try and shoot a missile at me, which is very obvious, which means that I can abuse that. He's going straight vertical now, he's going super slow, and this time around he's actually going slow enough to the point where I know I will hit him. Especially if he does a little bit of a little twirl in the backspin. We upload his balls, and that is going to be kill number 4. And 4 kills isn't the most, but in this kind of plane it's, I think, worth showing off. But don't forget, this is YouTube. You don't get to see the terrible and boring games, and that's why I'm going to put another one in, because this one is actually, it's not about the gameplay, it's about the result. Because even though you might play okay and you might position yourself well and put yourself in position for a lot of potential kills, if people know that you're there, you're gonna have a little bit of an issue trying to get kills with it. Aim 9 down the range. MiG-21 shoots a missile and it's instantly flared. Su-22 in front of me is already being chased by the J-8. Now I'm going to come in here for support, but the J-8 is going to kill him right before I get to him, and that's another kill down the drain. The potential with this thing is always there. The issue is that actually succeeding is a little bit less likely. I try to Maverick the J-25 in the head-on, we get a hit. That's another kill down the drain, and we are going to look for someone else. MiG-23 appears. Now I know that he has missiles that I don't want to deal with, but my RWR is not being pinged, so I should be completely okay. He goes for me, he flies straight, and off he goes to kill the F5 that just doesn't see his missile. How that happens, I'm not entirely sure, but it is what it is. F4 on the right, can't really go for him right now. He's just gonna flare it, he's way too fast, and these missiles don't have the range. So I'm trying to go for the MiG-23, but he's just outrunning me completely. So we switch on over to equal caliber of plane. The Su-25 is honestly just much better. But in terms of flight performance, I'm somewhat close to him. Now I'm pretty sure that the Su-25 wins prolonged, but he's busy trying to shoot the J7. Now he starts pre-flaring, he definitely knows that I'm there. And I feel like I want to shoot the missile down so it doesn't see the flares, but with an AIM 9P, that isn't very likely. We merge, I'm not going for the shot here, I'm again going for a little bit of room, so I can kind of slide into his DMs behind him, but he goes head on with the Kavir Canard, and it gives me the opportunity to firmly plant myself, as Patrick Starr says it, onto his 6. Now I shoot the missile down, and I hope that the missile goes under the flares, and that's exactly what happens. And that's the only kill I'm going to be getting. You see how much potential kills you might get. You get hits, missiles get flared by random missile shots, and there is just nothing you can do. Now this is a game where we fight a J-35 XS and an F-104. It's an F-104A. After just taking off, we have spent the entire game getting a 1 kill again, I think. And then these guys are actually playing it somewhat smart. But I know that the F-104 does not have flares. He's right there above me. So I'm just holding my AIM 9Ps, because I know that if he overshoots, he dies. I just need to make sure that he's close enough to my nose when he does overshoot, because the speed difference here is nothing short of astronomical. So he comes in, I'm trying to fly straight, he missiles me, AIM 9P, not entirely worried about that one. So we kind of bob and weave, we go up last second, we prime the missile, and that's kill number 1. Well, kill number 2, but the first one that you see. And now we only have to deal with the J-35 XS that is playing it very conservatively. Let's just put it that way. He's holding his speed, he's making sure to never drop throttle. You know, he's doing everything he can to stay as fast as possible and just kind of boom and zoom us to that. And the issue with that is that we have a Hunter and me that are not really together, so he's not really able to latch onto anyone. Now he does go head on, we dodge the head on, we take some shots, and we trade air basically. And I'm going to be flying away. I have a feeling that as long as we stay together, I'm not going to be killing this guy. We only have 4 missiles total. I've already shot one, he has 12 flare pops. The chances of us killing him with a missile are basically 0. He's also playing it conservatively, and I understand why he does it. I'm not shaming him. Jude, it is what it is. You can't dogfight us if we play like this, because you're just going to get third party. But when someone plays like that, I know that he knows how to flare. He's probably going to be looking around. He doesn't need to pre-flare because it's only an AIM 9J and an AIM 9P. So what do? I separate myself from the pack and I go back into hiding basically, but he kind of notices this and he starts chasing me down. Now I have a feeling that the Hunter is kind of cutting him off here, so he's forced to make a bit of a turn. So now I'm actually able to go into unspotted and we can get a little bit of altitude, because my theory is that the J-35 might actually be a little bit more aggressive if the Hunter is engaging him all on its own, instead of when both of us are directly together. So I climb away, I rejoin the fight, and guess what? My theory is somewhat correct, because he's not that fast, but he still maintains the speed well enough to the point where I can't really engage him. So I came in a little bit too fast, but I don't think the J-35 would have dropped that much more speed, so I don't think it would have been that much of an issue. But then he turns around and I start to wonder, did he actually see me because he's getting mighty close to me right now. He sees me last second, he starts breaking off to the right a little bit. So I do think that he knows that I'm here right now. So I'm just gonna hold my altitude. I'm gonna wait for this guy to engage the hunter. I tell the hunter to turn in. He does so. That's another missile of his rails. That's good. Does he turn around? Is he starting to get a little bit desperate and that he knows that he has to do something here in order to win? He's probably running low on fuel at this point as well. He needs to make something happen. And he takes the one line that I'm able to intercept. And this is just kind of luck. Kind of making use of my experience. I know how people behave roughly. But of course, at the end of the day, he still needs to do what I wanted him to do. And that's what he did. Now that's a bar and a half. And that's the Hawk 209. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to never pick up this plane. And I'll see you all very soon again with a sim video.